All right, now, speaking of actors and unfortunate things, the Oscars, the Academy Awards, 2017 was, what's the 74th annual? The
89.
Oscars.
It was 80-something, right?
89.
Yeah, 89.
The old as fudge Oscar ceremony was last night. Hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. This is coming just 1 year after the whole Oscars So White scandal. And I felt that the last year they really tried to push more movies, more prestige format films. Feature.
They tried to push them. They just happen to work out this way. You know what I mean? It's like a cycles. I don't think they were
maybe, but every year there's several films that feature casts that don't feature entirely lily white, rosters, and they're somehow overshadowed. And last year was the first time it was really called out, not just like, hey, I noticed something, but you racist mother. And they really, it became a movement, dude. It was a whole hashtag, and
that's what a movement stands. Yeah, now.
Well, to the point where
hashtag it. That'll teach them.
Now, this year is the first year following that, and there were very blatantly more nominees of color. More nominees of color, more nominees of alternative gender, and what's the proper word here? I'm trying to say.
What do you mean alternative gender? Yeah, there's.
I mean, it was diverse. It was quite diverse.
Orientation is what I'm trying to say. But like that's new. That's new and awesome. That's big. And this year's Oscar ceremony, I thought was actually damned entertaining.
It was. I agree.
I watch them regardless. You know what I mean? They're.
Yeah, but you're a masochist like that.
The knock on it is just they're long. They're just terribly long. And there's always 2 or 3 bits that you can get rid of. This year they had the bit where they brought in a bunch of people who didn't know they were there from this bus.
I thought that was awesome. I know you wasn't a fan, but I thought it was awesome, Adam.
I personally hated it because first of all, I was like, these people don't know. Like they're taking a bus tour in LA during the Oscars. Do you think they care about the Oscars? You know what I mean?
They care about Hollywood.
And they brought it was like this guy is. People have been talking about Gary from Chicago, and he's like the old guy with a phone out videotaping the whole thing. And it was funny. Jimmy Kimmel was like, this is you can watch this on TV. You don't have to videotape the whole thing. He's like, oh yeah, well I'm doing it anyway.
He had to go.
I was there. You got to see this. I'm going to show this to Martha back home.
It just took too long. And it reminded me. I mean, they've been doing these weird bits that just like kind of don't play that well, like the pizza thing that Ellen did a couple years ago, and then Chris Rock did the Girl Scout cookies thing. And it's
I think they have to like throw things into the mix.
When all the biggest complaint is being it too long, you can cut out the 15 minutes right there.
The biggest complaint from us, from the viewing public, is that it's too long. But the complaints from the people who quote unquote matter has been, no one can measure up to Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal was the ultimate host. You gotta beat him and stuff.
And I think the complaints to the public. I think complaints to the public is it's too long because we have way too many commercial breaks.
Yep.
I mean, because as a whole, the Oscars are probably maybe 2 hours tops in terms of its length.
Man, they're in there for 23 minutes. Okay, they add all that footage. So many crowd shots. They're in there like you don't see it because they cut away for like reactions.
Yeah. So
when they trade off, it's like who won this? Meryl Streep. She comes up, she daps whoever presented her, and she's like thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. And they made subbing. They're just jogging in there.
Well, it's good as a host. I think he did.
Last year, Ben Affleck busted a slide off the stage. You didn't see that. It was like,
you be in guest. Which was hilarious.
All right, okay, hold on. Let's give that context.
I'm sorry,
real quick.
Adam, you say it?
Wait, hold up. No, give that context real quick. We're talking about the 2017 Academy Awards ceremony, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. Musical presenter was Justin Timberlake, did a bunch of big numbers, and Kimmel had a bunch of quirks as a host to try to make himself stand out.
No, he didn't have a quirk. That's Jimmy Kimmel. He's been doing that forever. That's his style. So I think he came out and he did really good at like kind of punking the Oscars a little bit, not to a degree of what's his face.
Talking about Chris Rock?
I know what you're talking about.
The
British
why
guy,
is this happening? The English gentleman.
Yeah, I'm trying to blank on his name right now.
Wow, from the invention of the Lying movie.
Yeah.
God, we do this professionally.
All right, who cares?
I've heard.
He came to
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, so he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard you were a film student too, right?
That will be edited out in the post show.
So he didn't go full Gervais, but he definitely had fun with it. He definitely took some shots at Mel Gibson. He took these obvious, the easy targets. You know what I mean? Which is great, and it was obviously made a very political too. We saying a lot of things, and that's one of the
Cosby jokes. I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, that's kind of played out. It's not funny anymore either.
Yeah, I think we're past that one.
But
no, you're right. There are bigger criminals like people in the White House now. So.
Oh, nice.
But we're talking.
Thank you. I am available to host the Oscars 2018. I'm just putting that out there now. Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
I would think if you're going to keep targeting that, though, it doesn't really show a challenge. Like, it doesn't show a lot of talent. It's pretty easy to hit that one.
True.
Monkeys in Battle type of thing.
I'll find a better target.
All right.
All right.
So you guys were talking about the rival with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon
is that
was
back from the Sarah Silverman days? Is that what's still happening there, or what?
Probably. I'm not even sure.
No, there's a back and forth going on between Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel that's been played up for comedy purposes over the years. Like, they're friends, and people know that they themselves, between them, are cool. Mm-hmm. But it's become as much as big a joke as it can possibly be, I think.
I recall the song, right?
Yeah, I think definitely because of her, though, that it's been going on for so long. Like, the two of them, people know they're cool, but it's still the gag that, they hate each other, right? Sure, they do. That's why.
At first, you thought it was real, like way back when they started doing
it.
Now,
but I also know what kind of comedian Sarah Silverman is, and for anyone that is unfamiliar, after all this time, okay, you know what? YouTube, I'm effing Matt Damon.
Yeah, that's it.
And that'll pretty much put everything in context for you. But that created a supposed rift between Matt Damon, the actor, and Jimmy Kimmel, the show host.
No, I think it started before that, and that was like the topper. Okay, now I really got you. This is
well, it kind of came to a head. If anyone still bought into that at the Oscar ceremony this weekend.
Yeah, when they brought out Affleck and Matt Damon when they announced him, it was like, oh, here's Ben Affleck and guest. You know what I mean? It was like he's like a +1.
Matt Damon and guest.
Matt Damon and guest.
Well, I personally
it was Ben Affleck and guest.
I like that you can't actually remember which one it is. Damon. That just really makes the icing on that one. Yeah. No one actually knows which way it went.
But in terms of called out Casey Affleck's man bun.
Yeah. Well, in terms of like the awards too.
Speaking of Casey Affleck, took the role for a movie you were crazy about, which
Manchester by the Sea. Yeah, of course.
To the people. we
made one dance
in house. I have more too if you think that's.
He gave him his gifts. Actually, we all had them.
That's his new Oscar strategy. Gummy bears.
Yes. Again, 2018. Just putting that out there.
It's called the gummies.
Manchester by the Sea.
The golden gummies.
All right, but the awards. You were crazy about Manchester by the Sea, and you were not alone. Apparently, Casey Affleck took. Now, it wasn't his first nomination, right? Because Casey Affleck won.
No, I think he was nominated for a supporting actor for another one. I don't.
Did he get one for the SNL skit? Because that thing was brilliant.
He did not get one for the SNL skit. Casey Affleck won for Manchester by the Sea.
Yep. Emma Stone won for Best Actress as well for La La Land.
I was surprised by that one.
The important ones, I think, are like Asghar Farhadi won for The Salesman, and he obviously had a statement written because he's back in his home country where it's one of these
he's not coming back.
Can come back because of this travel ban and everything like that, this Muslim travel ban. So this was definitely an ever-present thing that kind of hung over, not into like this, it wasn't all doom and gloom but it was definitely this palpable kind of thing. I'm really glad he won. I didn't think his movie was the best one out there. I thought Tony Erdmann would have probably taken Best Foreign Language Film, but
there was a lot of surprises there with the winners. Do you think that was maybe unfairly given?
No, because it is a good movie like that. You know what I mean? And I don't play like what deserves and what doesn't, and what's better. It's hard enough to judge art against each other, and I don't think you should. So that's why these awards are kind of weird in general.
Well
but
said.
Having this,
it's an award given by your peers.
Well, having this
how is it
statement there, having this statement written out is just kind of really brought it home. It was a very poignant thing to have there, and you see the exact effects of these regulations in this political climate now. This is right in your face here.
Even on top of that. Because it definitely casted like this real shadow that I think in many ways diminished from the quote unquote fun that was happening. Mm-hmm. So not to diminish what happened there, but to add on to it, but in a different sort of twist is when Jimmy Kimmel then turned around and had his phone streamed to the screen in which he tweeted the president. Mm-hmm. And it still addressed the fact that this man just won this award, but he can't be here because it's a travel ban.
Yep.
But the same token, we're still addressing we're as heavy as that is, we're still going to address the president in a comedic sort of way. So it doesn't diminish what happened, or what's happening, but at the same time, it's shedding light from a different lens.
Yeah. Well, you have to.
Direct.
I don't even see that though as a comedic thing. That's just literally showing how accessible our president is now, right? You can literally just poke him.
He was probably watching and
exactly, right? Like
he's a junkie. He's a junkie for this stuff.
I sincerely hope he was watching and hope he was paying a lot of attention when Meryl Streep was addressed and basically applauded by the entire auditorium. These are people in Hollywood, quote unquote Hollywood's elite. I hate saying that, but I actually do mean it sincerely in this case, because these are the people that are there because they're being awarded as the best we have currently right now, presenting material, making material, and providing entertainment and media. And they're all of the opinion that Meryl Streep is a great actress, a great humanitarian, and somebody who deserves our respect and admiration and adoration. And Kimmel came at it from the approach of everything negative that a very vindictive person who's not even involved in the entertainment industry basically came out his mouth and said some ignorant stuff for no reason. Well, for no reason, but basically he's a petty a-hole, and I like the fact that the Oscars addressed that. The Oscars did it in a classy way, but also an entertaining way. And I'm of the same opinion. It's like, this is a woman who
he was definitely playing to hit an audience that I think was all in favor of what he was saying.
But I'm a big fan of Meryl Streep's work over the years. Like, she's done fantastic work, in my opinion. Yeah, and
of course, I mean that much is obvious. Yeah, she's the most celebrated actress ever. And I think they said last night was her 20th nomination. Yeah, what I mean? Which is just crazy. Also, who else won last night? I think I forget what it was. I'm sorry for music or something. This was the 21st time they were nominated in their first win.
Yeah, I forgot who it was.
So they had been nominated 20 times before that, and this was the first win.
This was a person?
Somebody won last night. Yes, a human being won last night.
Well, no, I know. I say that because I know La La Land tied for the most.
No, I'm talking about like a single person's. Not like they got nominated 20 times that night. You know what I mean? I'm saying over their career.
Like a Leonardo DiCaprio moment, where it just never happens over and over and over.
Oh, maybe it was Leo.
There's no way, Leo. That's crap. Like Peter O'Toole was a better actor. And he was nominated 1,000 times.
Hey, man. Leo's work in Romeo plus Juliet. Okay, let's.
That's a classic right there.
The plus, I love it. Yeah.
No one's done finer work in Hawaiian shirts.
But
yeah.
But going on to the actors and stuff, Marshala Ali, which is the first award of the night for Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, first Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight, which I thought was well deserved. I had Michael Shannon too up there. Like I thought he was great.
Yeah, Nocturnal Animals, legit talent.
No, it was definitely a stacked actors and actresses awards year. And
real quick, not to step on that, just to jump in, because you had asked how people.
How does it actually work?
Yep. They do something called I think I may have the wrong term. It's like drop voting or downfall voting. Basically, it's
anyone who's ever been nominated or won an award has a vote.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
Since about 2011,
so it's basically a jury of your peers. That's what a lot of people don't understand either.
That's not all right. Yeah.
Which some people think it's just like a room full of crotchety old white men.
It used to be.
It maybe. Yeah.
It used to be. That was the Academy that voted up until about 2011. That's how they did it for every year in the Oscars. They've been doing it this way with the jury of your peers method. Basically, they send cards. To people with all the nominees on there, and they vote. And it's not always
those for your consideration things.
Sure,
yes. I mean, those exist,
And it's the top votes are grouped into a group, and the bottom votes are grouped into a separate.
So, like Frank Stallone can vote. You know what I mean? Like, you get some people like that, of course.
Well, of course. I mean, WorldCon does the same thing with the whole writing style. They do that too, right?
Yep, but the way they select winners is not necessarily the most that receive like top marks, but the most that receive marks in a general area. So if like everyone had like 10 people had La La Land and 6 people had Moonlight, but 40 people all had Manchester by the Sea as their number 2. Exactly. Manchester by the Sea takes it by having that majority of people think so highly of it, even though it wasn't their top.
Sure.
And that's how they would determine. That's how they determine the winner, and everything else drops off according to how many people voted, and then how many people voted highly. That's why they have the high category and low category. So a movie that a lot of people think was like number 5 out of 6,
right?
But still falls in that 6. and enough people put it as 1 or 2, despite the fact that the rest put it as like 5.
You're right.
Then that movie can still take it.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a kind of a pointlessly convoluted system when you could just say, okay, everybody vote. How many got number 1? But I think that makes it a little more fair.
Sure.
It also gives movies that you wouldn't necessarily think as the highest contenders a legit shot.
Yep. Right.
They're not just there because it's the participation trophy. It's like they actually earned this.
Yeah, I think the 3 biggest winners tonight was La La Land, Moonlight, and Manchester by the Sea took home a few that I definitely the ones I thought the best original screenplay. Kenneth Lonergan. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that Manchester by the Sea was my favorite film of last year.
You follow the more in-depth ones because I don't really pay attention to like the screenplay.
Really, I think that's I think one of the most important. I usually somebody who wins the screenplay one's gonna win picture. Because you know what I mean. A lot of those things are connected. They historically are. But La La Land's definitely started slow. It was nominated 14 times. You know what I mean. And they definitely started picking up steam, winning a lot of these awards. And then, like I said, Manchester by the Sea won Best Actor as well. Casey Affleck, which I thought was deserving. A lot of people thought maybe Denzel would have.
He was up against Denzel. Well. He was up against Andrew Garfield. He was up against
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, and I'm forgetting one big one. Why am I forgetting this one? Well, he was up against one more.
Gosling.
Thank you, Ryan Gosling. People that have done fantastic work. People that are known as consistently doing fantastic work. This is Casey Affleck. Mm-hmm. I've only liked Casey Affleck in one other movie. And that was Gone Baby Gone, which is a movie that I like and also hate because it's a great movie.
I didn't really like the movie. He was good in it,
watch it again.
You're right. Yeah.
You didn't like it?
It wasn't my favorite.
All right, not for everybody.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'll never watch it again because it pissed me off that much.
He's definitely the most talented of the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon bunch. You know what I mean? He is.
Wait, you gonna hate on the Boston boys there?
No, I just think I'm not hating him. I'm saying he's just more talented.
He's done a lot of good stuff for somebody from Boston who's not named Sully. No. What I've also
that's how we show affection in Boston. People.
Well, you got Sully, you got Fitzy there, you got the technical awards though, things like Suicide Squad winning best makeup.
Yeah, and there was 1,000 jokes, which annoyed me. It's like, oh, Suicide Squad has one more Oscar than Peter O'Toole. Like this, is like, yes, you can do that 1,000 times.
Yeah, things done.
The makeup wasn't bad. You know what I mean? But you're right. Then now it's they're gonna say Oscar winning film.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever, like that. Technically, it's true. You know,
WB knows how to market that stuff.
Hey, that makeup was amazing. Stop hating.
What?
It was great.
What's this movie it was up against? It was up against a lot of sci-fi that did great things with
Beasts of the Southern. No,
it was up against Star Trek. Yeah, phenomenal makeup.
And a man called Ube.
All I have to point out is that chick with the finger head thing that was gross and made my skin crawl. Phenomenal makeup job, despite how disgusting it was. Well, anyways,
if you get a visceral reaction from it, it's doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, in that respect, Godzilla also.
Oh yeah.
That should have won it.
Oh Jesus!
And of course, that's makeup right there.
So bad.
Moving on though to the biggest part of the night.
Wait! Let's not gloss over Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan and a few others getting the honorary award, the Governor's Award. Mm-hmm. These aren't Oscar-winning people, but these are people that have been overshadowed for years and continuously working in the industry. Jackie Chan for action and stunt coordination. This woman in the wheelchair, I forget her name. But apparently she'd been like an editor for everybody and forever. And had never received an award. And this was like they honored her and everyone was just like tearing up because they're like, yeah, I've worked with her. Why did she never win? You know?
Happens. Yeah.
So it's like those are the awards I don't usually pay attention to, but because it was such a big thing, and let's be honest, because of Jackie Chan mostly. But I mean, these other nominees were honored too.
I just don't think Jackie Chan really overlooked. You know what I mean? I don't think he wins awards.
Everyone knows he's amazing, but that's like. Okay, I mentioned Susan Luccian just earlier, but that's like a situation with her. Everyone knows she's phenomenal, but it just happened to fall into somebody else was deemed a little more phenomenal at the time. That doesn't necessarily take anything away from her. Everyone knows she's amazing, but she never won the award coincidentally because of who she was up against each time. You know? Yeah. But I'm sorry, I stepped on you, man. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying just moving on to the biggest part of the night.
Jimmy Kimmel missing that microphone when Justin Timberlake threw it at him. No. Look of anger.
Best Picture, obviously. Warren Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway came out because it was the 50th anniversary of Bonnie and Clyde, and it would have been a nice little, gathering, like remember this, blah, 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 like that, good part of film history. And so they're going to present the award for Best Picture. So they go to open the envelope, and immediately you see Beatty's face, like, and you think he's stalling. But immediately he starts stalling, and you think it's for dramatic effect. You're like, why is he? Is he just being a dick? Like, is he? You know what I mean?
He dug back into the envelope.
Yeah, and started looking like this. So then
I thought there was chocolate in here.
Yeah, and so he gives it to Faye Dunaway, who then sees it, and she's like, La La Land, and everyone's like, oh, okay, this big thing. Even me, I turned the TV off, whatever. And then
Adam
no, I just don't need to see a producer speak on this. Yeah, I've seen the movie. It's great.
He's like, Patriots lost the Super Bowl. Click.
And so that was, presumably it. And then, of course, we realized that they had, I believe, the wrong envelope.
Yeah.
Because they make copies of these things in case something happens. So he had a copy that said, I believe, Emma Stone, La La Land, because she won the award immediately prior to that for Best Actress. And so that's the thing they're reading, or that's the thing they saw. And Beatty was kind of confused. So he's like, I don't want anything to do with this.
I wonder how obvious
and
that stuff is sometimes, because the envelopes look alike, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, on the outside, ostensibly they're the same thing.
No, it's printed on the outside. It said Best Actress. It's an award for Best Actress. But
it was in a thing. You kind of you don't pay attention. You open it. You look inside.
You saw Emma Stone, La La Land. It was like.
Okay, I was confused.
That's why he was confused. He should have.
Because I thought he'd be like, okay, Bob Costas Pootie-Tang. Well then, now justice has been done.
Right. And so you have to do this thing where you go back out there and you're like, sorry, 15, 20 people on the stage that are really excited for winning the highest award in movies.
Yeah,
this isn't yours.
Heartfelt speeches, man.
I'm saying, like, no one said take the mic out their hand. Like, a good 3 or 4 dudes went up there like, this was so important to me. Thank you to my beautiful wife for sacrificing this time for me. I'm like, no one's gonna go out there and stop this.
Brother, if you're in the middle of this speech,
horrible,
you're like, my wife is the most important person ever. I can't thank you enough for being my I'm not gonna be like, excuse me, shut your hole, man.
That Kanye West was needed.
It is a tough job to go be the one out there doing
that. Kanye should have had Kanye West up there like, I'm sorry,
then becomes
I'm gonna let you finish. Win this award. Moonlight did, it's the greatest movie of all time.
Man.
Shrug, roll out.
Boom.
Sadly, the way it happened,
so bad, man. Like,
the way it happened is, I think, the only way it could have happened without embarrassment and scandal. Had they just been ushered off, it'd have been like, oh, here goes Moonlight bullying, the innocent. Movie about white folks teaching folks jazz. I mean, but besides that, it's like, yeah. But I mean, besides that, it would have been, we interrupt these people's heartfelt speeches about how important this was to them and what should be the greatest moment of their life. Excuse me, I'm getting choked just thinking about it. What should be the greatest moment of their career. To say this is not your moment, this is someone else's moment, and then bring them on, and the negative stigma of people not knowing the entire story right then and there, and just assuming you just robbed them, or you're taking it out of their hand and giving it to this person.
That's not a rob, though. It's
no, I know, but that's how it would seem to people. I think the way it happened is the only way it could happen smoothly, and even that was awkward.
It was even smooth because Horowitz was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we didn't even win."
Yeah, I thought that was some petty stuff. That was just like he's in the middle of his speech and they just like, "Yeah, you lost." But he was like, and I'd like to thank my what. And that I think was
such a unique thing. It's never happened in the history of
true. It was very classy.
There was my favorite
in the entire 117 years of the Oscars.
One of my favorite things
way to hand over. He said that Moonlight earned this award, and I'm very happy to present this to my friends, the producers of Moonlight. They've earned it and they deserve it. And he emphasized that while holding the award that 30 seconds prior, he thought he won. That's big, and that was a classy move, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what else do you have? What other option do you have? Look like a jerk in front of the
smack him in the head with it and then run.
Yeah, no, that's not an option, though. You know what I mean?
My Oscar.
Yeah, no, you got to pull up all those actor skills and just kind of hide your anger or whatever.
The funny thing was there was always that thing where they thought Marissa Tomei didn't actually win Best Supporting Actress. Today. You know what I mean? For My Cousin Vinny.
Gosh,
it's like no, she definitely won.
Gotta feel like Marissa Tomei. Mm-hmm. No, really, who got it?
My cousin Vinny, Oscar? Yeah, all right.
It's like, no, they definitely won because this is what happens when you don't. You know what I mean? So this is the protocol now, I guess.
Well, it was the 146th Oscar ceremony. I'd just like to say this one, a lot of people were on it. I like the approach that was taken on the political aspects of it. I thought it was a very well presented ceremony. And dude, I thought Kimmel actually did a pretty good job. I'm hoping they bring him back. I'd like to see where it goes now. If you have any opinions and want to follow up, or anything you want to chime in on, if you disagree with the way it was presented, and you think that Moonlight should have gotten the Oscar smacked in the forehead, I'm kidding. But hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. We can continue this conversation. Hit us up on social media. Also, if you go to our bio page, all the social media links are on there. But now, I want